Welcome back. 61 for 61 events are going on all weekend to help raise money for the Sanford Roger Maris Cancer Center.
That's right, and here to tell us how to get involved is Sanford oncologist Dr. Shelby Turstrup and cancer survivor Jason Boutwell. Thank you both for being here.
Yes, thank you.
So let's start out by explaining to everybody what 61 for 61 is, because it encompasses so many days and it's a huge event.
Well, it started back in 1998, if you can believe it. It was the same year that Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were trying to beat Roger Maris's home run record.
Yes.
And so the Fox radio station started this event, and it's now blown up into multi-different events that have, escalated the, the 1 day or the 2 days into multi-days. So, something for everybody.
Yeah, many chances to give, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
just because everybody knows somebody who is either going through it or who has survived cancer.
Right,
We've all got a story in the background.
Right.
And which brings us to Jason, because thank you for being here today,
Thanks for having
too.
us.
We appreciate it because you've got a story yourself that you want to share with us.
I do, well, you said cancer survivor, and I'm looking forward to taking on that title.
Yeah.
As of now, I would classify myself as a guy who's in the middle of the cancer fight. And although I might not look like I'm in the middle of chemotherapy treatments and everything else, I'm about 75% of the way done in a 6-month cycle. This spring, myself and about 90 of my best friends from my company, we're down in Mexico. I went out for a run and didn't feel so good afterwards. Wasn't exactly sure what it was, but my appendix had blown up.
Oh,
And
yikes.
not the place where you want your appendix to blow. Not that you want it to blow up anywhere, but
Right.
if it's going to blow up, Mexico is not known for its medical advancement.
Yes.
So I had chalked it up. I figured I just drank some bad water and maybe pulled a muscle. So being the stubborn male that I am, I actually let it go 8 days before I sought real treatment. And my general practitioner here in Fargo smacked me upside the head and said, "Get to the ER." And later that same day, they had, I was in the surgery table, and when they pulled my appendix, they found some bad mojo, and it turned out to be cancer. So went through a second round of surgery I call it the cancer removal surgery, just out of generic terminology, and been going through chemo ever since. But it's been a great run, if you can call it that, at the Roger Maris Cancer Center. I feel just obligated to go out and tell anybody who will listen that Roger Maris is a gem of the prairie, that we've got a great staff here in town, and you don't need to go to
Talk
Omaha.
about the emotional roller coaster when you first found out the news and where you've been from there and how Sanford's helped you with that.
It was tough. One of the best things that I've found during the journey was finding other people who have been through this. If I can just talk to somebody who's been there, done that, it'll make me feel a lot better. And I was able to find that. And it did. It helped me get back on the mental plane that I needed to be on in order to start the fight. For the first couple of days, it was a lot of woe is me, hey, I'm going to die kind of stuff. And, when you look at eternity and your time on Earth is, it's short. And whether it's 40 years or 80 years, it kind of doesn't really matter that much in the grander scheme of things. But I don't want to leave my kids behind. I don't want to leave my wife behind. And that was the emotional stuff initially. But after I met some other survivors, was able to kind of see the future and start to move on and move into fight mode.
So being 75% through treatment, what's the current prognosis? What are you hearing?
Well, I had a scan about 3 weeks ago, and the scan was good. The scan wasn't, hey, you're cancer free. The scan was, hey, we don't see any cancer yet, or right now, which is a great step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Only after the 5-year mark do they say, hey, high five, you're cancer free. You're back onto real life mode. But looking forward to that 5-year anniversary and ringing the bell at the Roger Maris Cancer Center, and helping other people who are going through that same thing that I started my journey on in February.
Your story is so important because you found people to help you, and now you're spreading the word, and somebody's listening right now, taking all your words and saying, you know what, I better go get checked.
I hope
so. Much more on 61 for 61 when we come back.